All right, let's go. Ayo, we're three hot guys sharing our opinions because we're special and different. Gold medals, we're winning. Can't help it if we're burdened by our intellect. You can play checkers while we pretend we know the rules to chess. The council has spoken, and we are the chosen. Your nose is broken because I broke it.
Sucks.
And welcome back to another episode of Will of the Councel. It's your boy Joseph. I've got Jordan in the booth.
I am focused on my development as a man. No junk food, no parties.
We've got Danny, who is wrist deep in another man for Bitcoin reasons.
This is the hustle. This is the culture. My hand is so far up this guy's ass that I can't get it out. Someone help. Help. Help.
And we've got Becky on the ones and twos. How are you all doing today? Are you focused? Are you in your lane? Most
Sorry
importantly,
for
are you
starting off like
retaining?
that. No, I'm feeling good. I'm meditating.
I could listen to you do the fucking
The
TikTok
AI
voice. So, dude, it kills me. This guy fucking sucks at Mario.
At training in the mountains.
Okay, so what we're talking about today is one of my most favorite tweets of the week, but also like a thing that just sort of perennially happens.
Yeah.
There's, I guess I would say, a glut of not necessarily gaycations, but this thing that male influencers love to do,
Ugh.
which is host like masculinity boot camps built on not necessarily like getting super fit, but like fulfilling all of their manly needs at the same time, allowing them to truly focus and lock in. So the one that went viral this week was, the concept is it's a remote mountain in Bali, and you go there to be a part of a community of men looking to grow themselves. They eat no junk food, they fuck no women, and they ban everything that is not making you grow. Some people come there to do the gym. Some people come there to, I guess, write a screenplay or something. It appears some people are like lifting and the others are like, you know, working on a fucking Bitcoin portfolio. And they're all eating, you know, raw
Steak.
meat and
It's
steak,
just meat.
bone
Oh
marrow,
my God.
and kickboxing.
Meat.
I want to impart, because they talk about, like, you know, this camp has a team of private chefs cooking healthy meals, and it's like,
Steak.
there's just meat.
It's just steak.
It's steak. It's like the camera pans over like a wood platter with a T-bone steak and bone marrow next to it.
My absolute favorite healthy meal of all time.
Yes.
Served at Fogo de Chao.
Yeah, the frame one is the guy holding like what looks to be just like a giant T-bone steak by the bone, and he's
Yes.
like munching at it like he's at medieval times.
What happened to, why are vegetables gay? I can't. How did this happen?
Two
Okay.
things about this. First, if you haven't seen the image, we'll put the image in the actual episode so you'll know what we're talking about. But why are all these men shirtless? There is one image of these men the entire time where a guy is wearing a shirt.
No, every time they wear the shirt, it's like a developer on like a computer.
Exactly. And secondly, man, it must stink something crazy in there, right?
Till the
It's gotta
room
smell so
stinks,
bad.
bro.
Yeah, it's like 40 unwashed dudes working out all day. And if you think they're eating fiber, think again.
Meat.
Yeah, no, that it's all meat. What? This is what is very strange to me about what has happened to the concept of masculinity, right? Is, you know, I don't know. I guess when I was growing up or like watching media, as just like movies getting made, like the idea of masculinity was this, you know, you're a hot guy who like you dress in a way that looks like somewhat nice. You have like a nice job. And the reason why is to like get the girl or something, you know, to find love, to have a home and a wife and kids or whatever. Now masculinity is like you are on your grind. And to do what exactly? To be on your grind more. It's just to work. It's like to succeed for the sake of succeeding with no goal. I don't understand it. How did this happen?
My favorite part of this is that it's like an overglorified WeWork, right? Like,
Yes.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's like they figured out like 10 years ago, it was like, how do we get dumb fucks to pay us $1,100 in rent for a cubicle? And they're like, oh, we have everything you need. kombucha. We have beer on tap, a local IPA. We have a ping pong table, an air hockey table,
steak,
and
cooked.
Now they're like, okay, we have less of that shit, but we are in Bali. Now they're like, you know, all those people who had man buns and gave us all that money right before the housing crisis, all of their businesses failed. They were all developing an app called like Cumler, which would allow you to log like your daily intake of semen.
Oh, we need to make that
And
app.
now they're like, we need a new clientele of rubes. They're like, I know who it's got to be. Like the alpha male coder. Like the guy whose entire life is either asking ChatGPT to write a Python script for him or lifting. Like those guys are so dumb and they make so much more money than they should that we can just rent like an abandoned mountain in Bali and serve them raw meat for a week. And they're like, dude, I went on like the most transformative cleanse this past month.
It was incredible.
I was just around other men.
Me and 70 guys, all of us without our shirts off. Wait. And I'm like, were you in Ibiza or were you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the other question I have to ask. They're fucking each other, right?
Till the room stinks.
This is also a stealth gaycation.
It has
like,
to
I know
be.
yeah, like there's no way you're getting that down and dirty and hot and hard with all these other men with like goals and not being like, dude, what's your cock look like? Would you mind showing me?
Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
This is part of my alpha male
you could
development.
have gay sex with other men, but why do you have to make having gay sex so gay? Right? Can't you do it without the pretense of like alpha male coding retreat?
It's actually called soy.
Not to like, I don't know if I have the ability to say this as like a certified straight guy, but like this is so gay.
It's so gay.
This is like very
Like,
gay.
If they are not having gay sex, it's got to be gayer, right? Like,
What do you think the
if this is all
application is?
pretense for men to cheat on their wives with other men, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's okay if it's a front.
But if what it is like, if you go there and you're like, all right, guys, who's ready to cleanse themselves? And they're like, yeah, we're like going really hard this week. We're going to like code so much. You just be like, wasted my fucking money.
Yeah, it's like, why am I here? I wanted gay sex. What the? And on the application, it says, do you like gay men? And gay sex in particular.
Well, you can't say yes.
Yeah,
everybody there has to be lying about it, right? This is like,
it's a trick question. You say no, and it's like, but we know what you really mean.
yeah, exactly.
My favorite part, there's a clip of them like just like playing chess, and I'm like, you don't need to be in the the gaycation to play chess with your homies. Like, you can just
all of this shit can be done without going to Bali and taking your shirt off.
It's
I
so
just
funny.
can't imagine the type of people who are like, I can't do it here at home, but as soon as I get to Bali, I am playing shirtless chess with other men. I am growing. I am becoming more powerful. They think it's like the fucking hyperbolic time chamber when you get on a Delta International flight.
Yeah, that's what it is. This is nerd ass hyperbolic time chamber belief shit. Like,
But my favorite part is that, like, for the first 10 to 15 seconds of the video, you're like, okay, I guess this is like a WeWork style focus gym. And then it's like, there's a spa. What? A pool, huh? A firewood burning sauna. And I'm like, this is a vacation. You're describing vacation.
also, why do so many dudes want to go to boot camp without going to boot camp? Like,
Yes.
this is just luxury
Just
boot
enlist, for fuck's sake.
camp. Yeah, honestly, like what?
Because there's stakes to that.
Yes, there is.
You probably will be responsible for like flying a drone hopped up on like amphetamines and Monster Energy, just, blasting the hell out of anyone who's even remotely brown from 30,000 miles away. But you also might have to go like to Afghanistan or something, and like that could be dangerous. So why even risk it? Just go to the gay boot camp with a bunch of roided out freaks.
Yeah, go to the Bali fake boot camp where like you get to feel like the promise is that you are doing manly man shit, but you're on vacation with private chefs and a spa. Like, what?
And I like there's no women,
wrong
and then
with-
there's in the video there's a literal woman masseuse, like she's giving you the massage.
Yeah,
and I was like,
wait a minute, you're
hold
right.
on. Wait, again, this is just vacation. You can admit it.
You know how there's like temporarily embarrassed millionaires?
Oh,
This is
perfect.
a temporarily embarrassed man.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Woman
good.
for the purposes of massage.
Wait, doesn't it in the video say that there's supposed to be no women there?
Yes.
It's
It
like
says
the first thing they say.
Thing they say. No women, no parties, no alcohol. Anyway, there's women masseuses, and you can get a spa.
Yeah,
and you can
wait,
go to the,
literally
you can go
says
to the
no
hot tub,
women.
and it's cool as shit. You know, whatever. It's a flexible design. You know, whatever. You know, it's kind of like do your own thing here. You know, and like if you want to show your penis, you can. Like I'm not gonna force you, but like I really do want to see it. Sorry, I can't get over the fact that they say, you know, like the people that come here are successful businessmen, athletes, and self-development enthusiasts. Explain that to me. What is a self-development enthusiast?
Life coach.
You know what it is? It actually is just burned out millennial with ADHD and imposter syndrome
Thank
who
you.
knows they could be something great if they weren't so addicted to their vices like scrolling Twitter and
Yes!
jacking off.
Exactly. Like Hustler's Mindset posts a picture of a lion on Instagram and says, "Wake up because your enemies are too," or something like that.
Also, hold on.
He's like,
They
all right,
have
that's enough.
internet
That's
access
enough
here, right?
mindfulness for today. Let's go back to jacking off to Ben 10 porn.
Don't I see them on their computers here? Don't they have internet access here?
Yeah.
Wait,
Wait a minute.
they're at the nude gay sex camp, but all they're doing is just scrolling.
Yeah,
No,
they're
just
like-
scrolling Twitter. It's just
I gotta be
scrolling
on
Twitter,
Twitter.
but with no women
I had
there.
a great day of mindfulness and then 4.5 hours of replying to Elon tweets.
Yeah. This shit's so lame,
The
dude.
pool
Just-
makes me laugh every time. It's like two guys in like a yin yang pool. It's they're just like they're just floating there.
Are you fucking the guy in the yin half or the yang half?
I think I'm leaving.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to this shit. I can do this shit at home.
Okay, I'll talk about it. Who loves the part that they got the guy who's working there to blow them fire through the stick, right? Like
I'm blowing him fire.
Also, wait a second. Isn't that like the one brown person in the video?
Well, they're the worker. Yes. So
That's crazy.
Isn't
I'm
it
actually
insane?
I'm gonna watch this video again just to be sure that that's correct.
Oh, it's awesome. I keep scrolling through it and laughing.
Oh my god, it's just all white guys. This is just all white dudes. Yeah, there's one person of color, and then there's
Well,
the one brown person.
The workers.
Yeah.
They're the workers.
Yeah,
No, the first one, there's no way that guy's a worker. He's got the Apple MacBook out and he's like doing his webcam stuff. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Do you guys have any coworkers who are like, you know, like, oh, like I'm in Bali today, you know, like, or like, I was like, what the? Okay, whatever. Do whatever you want.
Back in the day, I did have coworkers like that, but they were always doing nothing.
Not to say you can't
They were
remote
like,
work.
I could work anywhere. So like, why don't I just go to like somewhere incredible for a couple of weeks? And like, they would just proceed to do nothing.
yeah.
They would like
Yeah.
take a picture of them like coding with like a beach background, and then they would upload the picture, turn off the computer, and go to the fucking beach, which they should.
Which they should. Listen, I
Yeah.
get it. And I would do the same. It's just so funny to imagine these guys in their Zoom calls and be like, yeah, I'm on a cleanse. Anyway, I've got a spa at 4, so let's push back that meeting.
Yeah. Changing meeting invites around all my gay sex.
Are you ready to get into the posts?
Yes, please. Ugh, or else I'm joining.
All right, we got 3 bangers for you today. Our first one comes from Best of Redditor Updates, and we have been asked to do this one a great deal. Thank you so much for the recommendation. It is an old post from like August of last year, which has returned because the person put up a new update. All right. So this starts, I, 37M, want to try and get back with the one who got away, 36F. Is there any chance of that happening? First, no.
No.
Second, let's get into the post.
All right, let's do it.
Let me ask you, do you all have a one that got away?
No.
I like
What?
I'm
Okay,
trying
hold
to
on a
think
second.
if-
What kind of question is that? What am I supposed
Yeah,
to
I
say?
know. You can
Yes,
you obviously can't
for
answer
my
that.
wife to listen to who listens to the podcast.
Yeah, that- I don't know what I would
oh
expect.
man, there's this one back when I was 19. I still think about her. Like, come on, dude.
I just like
Well, okay.
I don't
what
know.
do you
Maybe
mean by
I've never
that?
been in a particularly meaningful relationship. You know, maybe all of my relationships have been too shallow and low stakes. But to me, I just can't imagine living with like the guilt that like, oh, they're the one who got away at 37.
Yeah.
Like, not to spoil too much, but what they're talking about is someone they dated when they were 19, And it's like, you've lived a whole lifetime since then. You're not the same person.
It just reminds me of some people I've seen posts online be like, I got together with this guy I thought was the one in college who I never really got to connect with. And he sucks. Hate him.
Yeah.
And I broke up with him immediately. And I was like, it's so different. It's hard to contain things like
the
that.
one that got away stuff also is like, if it's someone that you dated for a long time and you fucked up the relationship,
Right.
you can live with that guilt for a while, sure. But if
Sure.
it's someone that like you were never with, you don't know how that was going to end up. Like,
Exactly.
what the fuck? Like,
Exactly.
They could have sucked and you didn't know it. Things could have developed poorly.
My life has improved a lot by being like, I've crushed a lot on people and then like getting to know them as I get older and more
Don't
mature.
I know it?
Come on, man. And, as I go older, I'm like, that person, I don't like that person actually as much as I thought I did. Like, as soon as you start to get to know people and you don't, you can start to contain things as like, oh, like I have a crush, like I like them a lot or whatever. And then when you get to really know people, you start to meet reality.
Yeah, I will say, I don't think it's necessarily terrible to like think about a crush you had back when you were, I don't know, like their age is like 19, and just kind of have a
I certainly do
curiosity,
that.
Right.
just a curiosity about how they are,
Oh, it's
right?
normal.
Yeah.
But to call them the one that got away, I will admit that that's kind of crazy.
I don't like
that's,
it.
Yeah, like
Like-
frequently I'm like, what if I had ended up with X person? How would my life have been different? But I'm never like, oh, if only
If
I could have been
only
with
I-
the person I thought was my whole world at age 14.
Yeah,
Things would be
exactly.
so much better. Oh, man. Okay, ready?
yeah.
I've been tearing myself apart thinking about her and how things ended. You didn't miss anything, by the way? That's the first sentence.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
I feel like fucking Peter Griffin. Who the fuck starts a conversation like that?
For us, is who the fuck starts a Reddit post like that?
Yeah,
A Redditor.
true.
I can't stop no matter how much I try. This is going to be a long post, and I know I'm writing a lot of rambling and nonsense. Oh, well, thanks for subjecting us to it. Thanks so much. This post is going to suck, and it's going to be poorly written. Oh, great. Well, can't wait to read it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right. When I, 37M, was 20, I met the most beautiful woman, Leela. Leela.
Leela.
Weird name. Leela.
Lila?
Okay.
No, Leela.
Leela? I met the most beautiful woman, Leela, who was 19 at the time. She was both inside and out. Hate him already.
All right.
She had the most gorgeous dark brown hair that looked red and purple when the light hit it just right. These golden brown eyes and lashes that looked like a doll's. Freakish. Freckles on her rosy, plump cheeks, a single dimple when she smiled a certain way. That's Danny's most attractive characteristic, by the way.
Fuck you. You're right.
She was a year younger than me, but yet she was always so much smarter and mature in every aspect. Doesn't sound difficult to be honest.
Yeah,
Setting yourself up for that one, buddy.
yeah. 37.
We
stuck in
dated
your
for
20s.
2 years. I met her parents, and her no-nonsense cop father definitely gave me the stink eye at first, but he grew to like me. Her mom adored me right off the bat, commenting on how my green eyes complimented her daughter's golden brown ones in the most romantic way.
Can you pause
I don't
for a
understand what
second?
she meant, but I liked the compliment.
Is this guy a romance novel writer? What's happening?
Yes. Yeah, genuinely,
Yeah,
this guy is practicing writing a
Fucking
romance
AI
novel.
ass.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
continue.
definitely just jacking off writing this. Okay, here we go. I still don't fully understand what it meant, but I like the compliment. Her younger siblings loved playing in the backyard with me. She met my parents and my two brothers, and they all loved her right off the bat. My younger brother was the same age as her. Weird. And they were going to college together. Strange. And would help each other study in some of the shared classes their majors had. Huh. Hell, even my 6-month-old dog I had adopted before even meeting her seemed to like her more than he liked me. Again, bar pretty low. She told me her dreams, how she wanted to own a home that was tucked away from everything but not completely isolated. Okay, that is not an uncommon dream. Whoa,
That's
you
a-
want to live somewhere?
You want to live in the
like-
suburbs. That's what you want.
That's crazy.
Jordan, you,
You
make
are
it sound
one
so much
interesting
like
chica.
more boring.
Yeah.
Like, oh, nice suburban dream.
Yeah, exactly.
You and every other asshole on this subreddit.
And she didn't want to see any black people, which okay, I'm sure Leela, I want to say if you're Leela, I'm sure you're not racist. She wanted a Stanley, and she wanted to go to Disneyland. Okay, here we go.
Okay, those are fine things to watch.
She wanted to be a doctor. She wanted to help people. She wanted to be a pediatrician. She loved kids. She always said she wanted a family. She didn't care how many kids she had. She just wanted to experience the ups and downs of motherhood. She wanted the good, the bad, and the ugly. Jesus Christ, he cannot keep talking about this. I don't care, dude.
Jeez.
I listened to her go on and on about baby names and how she would design a nursery. At the time, I thought I wanted kids too. I wanted to marry this girl and give the family she so clearly wanted. She was my Lila. I wanted to stay with her forever. I was young, but I was in love with her. Okay. After 2 years of dating, I started to realize I didn't want to have kids.
Oh.
That's rough.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's pretty much the biggest deal breaker there is.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I thought I was just being around too many of my bratty cousins and it was turning me off, but the more I thought about it, the more the idea of having to be a father made me sick. I would get headaches and my stomach would twist in knots thinking about having to take care of some screaming, crying, and shitting little thing, then have it grow into a tantrum-throwing toddler, a bratty child, and a moody teenager. I didn't want to be held down like that. I wanted to travel, have money, be free. After a few drinks one night, I ended up telling it to Lila. I remember she went quiet and said, I won't try and change your mind, but I'm not giving up. I remember scoffing and rolling my eyes, telling her we weren't going to have kids. She stood up on the couch and said, you might not want it anymore, but I do. I won't force either one of our minds to change, so one of us will end up miserable. I realized she was breaking up with me, and even though she was so calm and mature about it, I remember feeling so angry. She was walking around the apartment, gathering her things and being silent. I was arguing with her, trying to change her mind. I told her it was stupid to want kids, that they were annoying and a waste of time. When she didn't budge, I started to insult her. I said she was stupid. She was a weak woman for wanting to be a mom. She should give up on being a doctor so she could push out our brats. Lila finally started to respond, saying, calm down. We want different things in life. That's okay. I hated her in that moment. She wasn't agreeing with me. I remember punching the wall of our apartment.
Sorry.
I know. I'm sorry. I know it's not funny, but it's
okay?
Oh!
God, I remember when I emotionally abused my girlfriend when I was 20. I wonder what it would be like if I didn't fucking do that. Oh. Damn.
I remember punching the wall of our apartment, kicking a door, throwing anything I could get my hands on. She watched me wreck our living room and kitchen, not saying a word. She sat through my stupid gay baby tantrum and realized she already had the child she wanted so bad. She walked past me and left. The whole thing happened over a few hours. In less than a day, I lost the love of my life and my apartment was now trashed. Like, by you.
Yeah,
Dumbass. Of course, news of why we broke up and my reaction made it to my family. My mother cried hearing how I reacted. My dad gave me the coldest look I'd ever seen. My brother said I was an idiot, and my younger brother said I was lucky she hadn't called the cops on me. That was 15 years ago. I've tried to have relationships since, but they've never lasted more than a few weeks. I travel for work, but now I'm back in the same town Lila lives in. Lila got married, got her doctorate, had kids, and is a pediatrician last I heard. Good for her. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Get owned.
fucked,
Really
idiot. God.
I know my younger brother still kept some contact with her the first few years after the breakup. He invited her to his wedding, but she declined because she didn't want to cause drama. I'm back in town, the town we both grew up in, dated and lived in, and where she lives. I can't stop thinking about her. I miss her so much. I miss her perfume that smelled like a bakery, her strawberry shampoo, all shit you could just buy. The way her hair looks in the light. She's 36 now, and I want to reach out to her and make amends. I want to hold and hug her one last time, tell her I love her and I'm sorry. I don't know if that's a good idea, but a part of me needs closure. I don't know what to do. I want to sweep her off her feet and have her be my love again. I don't know if that ship has sailed already.
Bro.
Doesn't she have kids? Am I stupid? Like, oh man, I want to be a homewrecker. That's what I want to do, actually.
Yeah, genuinely. I want to ruin this woman's life a second time. Like,
Okay. I will give you a little bit of insight into the update.
Okay.
She does not have a husband. She is not married at present.
Okay.
okay.
That is better for sure. He says
So
had
this
kids.
changes for me, at least, I mean, pretty much everything, right? This changes pretty much. Like, he's not trying to destroy her marriage.
true.
Right.
Just
That's true.
her life.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So is the assumption here that she is like currently single or like not married? We don't know if she's seeing someone. That's like
That's
the
correct.
idea.
Sure.
I'm just going to take a quick double check.
Mhm.
Okay. So she got married, got her doctorate. Okay. So the assumption is she is divorced now.
Yeah, I think so. At least that's what Joseph implies.
Okay. All right. If that's the case, there is nothing wrong with reaching out to her.
Yeah.
I think, though, doing it with the express goal of trying to get back with her is kind of shitty, right? I think you reach out to her with the goal of saying, I wanted to make amends. I'm very sorry about how I acted back in those days. If you don't want to fucking see my face again, that's totally fine. I just wanted to reach out to you. And then you just kind of take it from there, right? Reaching out with this sort of like surreptitious goal of trying to get
To
back
sweep
with her.
off her feet and
I feel like that kind
my
of cheapens
love.
the like you don't want to apologize for your behavior. You want to get back with her. I think those are two different goals. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I think that
I
you
think
have
you
to
can
reach
have
goal
both.
one before you
I
can
think
reach.
you can be very sorry and also be like, I am still, of course, I still have feelings for you, like in your own head.
Yeah, I guess
and
that's
be
fair.
like,
I guess that's fair.
I want to apologize because I still am embarrassed about it and I never got to apologize and there is closure to this. I do have still feelings for you, but I'm not trying to insinuate anything there, just that I need to tell you this as my own closure for myself. So it's a bit of a selfish request, but I do want to apologize. You know what I mean? I think that's okay.
Yeah.
It's hard because you have to handle it very maturely.
I'm gonna have a different position than you. I think.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm not
sure.
I'm not set in stone on it either. I'm just trying to offer perspective.
They didn't break up for nothing.
Yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
true.
like, their parents forbade them from going out, and so they went their separate ways only to reconnect without the yoke of parental guidance upon them. They broke up because she wanted something that he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not getting from this post that he's changed his mind.
I agree.
Is a
So-
good point. It's a very good
So
point.
Yeah.
recall that what the man was pissed about was that he didn't want to have to raise a screaming ass baby
God.
into a tantrum throwing toddler, right?
He really
Yeah.
Well, she's
described
got
it.
2 kids from a previous marriage. So what he wants to do is hop out right before the kids and hop back in when they are no longer annoying to him.
That's the
It is-
strat.
I don't know.
Hold on a second.
It's kind of insane.
Whoa, hold on. Wait.
Genius alert.
Genius alert. You got to skip the parts that he hated. If this works,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, bro.
Wow, his beautiful doll-like woman sure did end up in a position where he's interested again.
yeah.
Me likey.
Yeah. No, that is pretty shitty if you look
But
at that. But
it does seem like he's like, ooh, and now I can have my cake and eat it too. No growth required on my own perspective. I just get to get what I want. Oh,
now let's give the guy some. We don't know that that's what's happening. Maybe he has come around to the idea of
no, if
being
he
a
had come
parent.
around, he would have fucking said it.
I know.
But
I
all
am
he
kind
is
of
remorseful
hesitant.
about is that they didn't end up together. Not that he
Yes.
missed out on parenthood. Not that he was like, I actually do want to be a father. He's just like, damn, she had a bomb ass pussy that I'm not getting.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Like, why?
I'm
Yeah,
just
why
trying to-
doesn't he
you know.
say that? Like, if you're like, I'm still in love with her, with the one who got away, you have to recognize the reason they got away. And if the reason is, I feel like I let her get away because I was immature and I said I didn't want kids. That was something I should have been able to compromise on. And even if I didn't want kids, I wanted to be with her. So I would suck it up and learn how to be with kids, like
yeah.
if I really loved her or whatever.
Or just recognition of the fact that they broke up because of an impasse they had, like, I don't know.
Yes.
Just call it like it is. Like, I guess he kind of does by saying he wants to apologize.
Man,
But I don't know.
Joseph,
this
you
is so.
little goblin. Now I'm like, oh yeah, wait, hold on. Like, there's the growth isn't there. It's not showing itself. Because you're
Yeah,
right. Like,
it's-
if he was more mature about his morals on what he's like, yeah, I still don't want kids, and that's okay. You can stand by what you want, right? Like, you could be like, I need to be with someone who doesn't want kids, and there's plenty of people who don't want that, right? So I don't know. It is a little sussy. But
There is a world where this guy just maybe has come a long way in life and he just didn't mention it somehow in the post.
you're right.
Maybe he thinks that it would be a little self-centered to say I've grown, I swear.
It could
I
be.
don't know. I'm trying to write a check for the guy,
Right.
but this does seem a little yeah.
No, I get what you're saying, and I still stand by kind of what I originally said. Just if your intentions are really well, if you grow, if blah blah, all these things, I do think it'd be fine. It's just
Yeah.
I do see Joseph's point on we're not
I
seeing
definitely
some
do.
of that in the post, so it's kind of hard to take him on his offer.
All right. Do you want to try voting on this?
Sure,
Sure, why not?
why not?
Decision time.
All right. When it comes to this guy, Jordan, do you think he's an asshole?
I'm actually gonna God, this is tough. Because I do think that he is right in the sense that, like, it's okay to have this sort of curiosity and reach out to this ex. And he does want to apologize. I just still can't get over the fact that, like, his main goal is being apologetic for the purpose of getting back with them. Because also, like, you don't know that you want to get back with her. You have this idea of her, of who she was when she was 20. Even for your own self-respect, like, why are you immediately jumping back to, like, I know she's still the love of my life? Like, you don't know that. Go in with the goal of apologizing and getting to meet her again. This just comes off to me as very immature, so yeah, I'm going to say he's the asshole. I'm going to say this is asshole-ish shit to do.
Danny?
Oh, man. This is tough. There's a world where I can argue that it's okay. I said it in the beginning. Like, it's possible that he has grown. He has all done these things. But Joseph, you really pulled me in. You pulled me in on, like, specifically the way he describes everything. The way it's like everything's very, you know, I'm a romantic guy myself. I love romance. I like these kinds of things. But I also, you know, want to respect myself and my maturity on, like, what I want. What are my needs? And it goes beyond just kind of my old crush from, like, years ago or whatever. And so I'm not seeing that in the post. And so I kind of agree with Jordan that we're not seeing the growth, and we're seeing this, like, you know, he describes so much of this woman on the post constantly just, like, you know, romantic about it, which is, you know, that's cool and all. Love that for you. It's epic, but it also doesn't scream like you primarily want to apologize. It just sounds like you're very mixed. You have no idea because you're confused. And he mentions it in the post himself. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. And he's like, all these feelings are coming up, and it's like, you got to know what you want, man. And it's kind of like an asshole move to be like, let's get back together, you know, like, as your primary objective. So I'll say he's a slight asshole. Slight.
I'm going to say he's an asshole too. I do think that his only really regret here, as Jordan said, is that he's not fucking this woman. He doesn't seem to have done any reflection outside of being like, it's bad we broke up, right?
Yep. Right.
He's like, I messed up insofar as we are not together anymore. Nothing about the reasons, nothing about the way he treated her. So I'm going to say he's an asshole, yeah.
Okay. I was shocked we got 3-0 on that. I'm going to be honest with you.
I know. Yeah, I think it's not super out of left field what he's doing, but I just don't like the guy.
That's fair. Vibes.
True, first of all. And secondly, I'm going to just, like, say a term. I'm going to make up a term. This guy is experiencing nostalgic infatuation. That's what this is.
Ooh,
this is just...
Wow, you're like Oscar Wilde.
You're kind of like
Shakespeare, dog.
That's true.
That's literally
it's
true.
Just literally experiencing the feelings of nostalgia and infatuation at the same time, which is whipping up all of these feelings that he has. And he's not even processing any of them. You know what I mean? It's just...
like, they're coming out of his asshole fully formed.
Yeah,
no nutrients have been leached off of them.
Yeah, like, okay, anyway.
But wait.
All right, let me run you through these updates. All right, next update, a couple days later. I have a date with my ex tomorrow, and I'm nervous.
Oh, okay, wow.
I gotta punch a wall, huh?
I recently reached out to an ex-girlfriend of mine about meeting up and catching up on life. I didn't expect her to respond because we ended on bad terms. She responded, we messaged for a while, and I asked her if she'd be willing to see me in person. She said she'd love to. I'm over the moon, but I'm also nervous about going out on a date. She's 36, I'm 37. We were dating 15 years ago. I'm scared I'll mess things up again. I feel like she's already being too generous with me by agreeing to speak to me, let alone see me in person. I'll take any chance I can to try and make things right for her. I brought her favorite flowers. I've made sure to rewear her favorite cologne of mine from all those years ago. Give it up.
Oh my God.
And I've been practicing what I need and want to say to her. I have no idea how the date's going to go, but I have to type out the feelings of nervousness.
Okay.
A couple days later.
Before you continue, it just feels like this guy's like that high schooler who never did anything past high school and is still in his
If I could turn back time, if I could find... Following my last post, I reached out to Leela. I had to. I know a lot of people wanted me never to contact her again, despite how I wanted to make amends, but I reached out to her and she responded. We chatted back and forth for a bit. She agreed. 3 days ago, we went out on a date. You're going to hate this sentence, y'all.
Oh,
God.
no.
She is just as beautiful as she was when we were together. Her figure filled out, and she finally lost the baby fat on her face, but she was still the same woman I fell in love with all those years ago. Death, 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 death,
This
death,
guy
death, death, death.
needs to have his face get some... Never mind.
If you want to
Dude,
hear
what
what
a
Jordan
dick.
says, subscribe to the Patreon.
I'm going to editorialize here because it's a long, boring post. When she was done asking me about me, I finally got to ask her about her and how she's been. She got married 11 years ago, 4 years after our breakup. She has 2 daughters, an 8 and a 6-year-old. I saw how happy she was when she talked about them, and I couldn't help but feel jealous and guilty. I should have been the one to have children with her, but I was stupid, and now she had kids with someone that wasn't me. Kill, 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 death, death, death. I asked about her husband, and it turns out she's a widow. He died 7 years ago.
I was gonna call it.
Yep.
You're
I
insane.
should have called it. God damn it. I should have called it. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
He died 7 years ago while she was pregnant with her youngest. It was unexpected, and she's done her best to move on and hold herself together and appear unaffected for her daughters. I asked if she was seeing anyone, and she said no. I told her she could tell me blunt what she was thinking. She said she was very depressed after our breakup. She had built a future for us in her head. She felt like I broke it on a whim with no warning. She had lost her first real relationship and the dream she had when we broke up. She had been so attached and so in love with me that for a while she tried to convince herself that she didn't want kids, but no matter what she did, she couldn't stop herself from wanting to be a mom, and she knew if she gave it up voluntarily, she would be miserable for the rest of her life. I asked her if I scared her that night, if she felt threatened. She said the yelling did overwhelm her, and while the commotion frightened her, she wouldn't say she feared for her safety and life. So that gave me hope. I apologized to her about how we broke up. I told her I regretted everything I did. She said she'd moved on and forgiven me years ago. I asked her if she was willing to give me another chance and let me back into her life. She was hesitant and got quiet for a moment. I could feel myself panicking. She said she didn't mind me being in her life, but I'd have to regain her trust in order for her to consider even trying to date me. I was disappointed, frustrated, and very disheartened, but I knew if I came on too strong, she'd turn me away. I told her I'd be happy to be in her life any way that I can. With her permission, I'd be working to prove I deserved a second chance at romance. I'm glad to have Leela semi back in my life. I'm going to work on proving to her that we can get back together. I hope that we can have the family life that she always talked to me about. I know there's still time, but the clock is ticking. Hoping one day I'll be posting for advice on the family we'll have together. Okay. Fast forward a month.
There's more.
So me and this woman have been seeing each other for a bit under a month now. It's been casual meetups and dates, no sex as she wants to wait. We used to date in the past, broke up, but now we're seeing each other again. Is it too early to ask her to be my official girlfriend again? I feel like we're acting like a couple without the label, which is frustrating. I've met her kids. I've given them a handful of rides to and from school. I spent the night at her house once. I bring her flowers to work and every date we have. I feel like we're a couple, so is it appropriate for me to ask her to be my official girlfriend? Finally, 6 months later, the man has become brainwashed of that thing.
No.
The very final post in this saga, my girlfriend is pregnant. She's happy about it. I'm not.
No. No. You can't do this to me. You're evil. You're evil.
No,
You're actually
growth.
evil. You wrote this. You did this to me. That was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago they posted this.
Yup, it just happened. It was just casual dating for a few months, and we've only been intimate a few times. She isn't on any birth control and made it clear she wasn't going to get any. So if I wanted to be intimate with her, it was going to be on my end. I was stupid and didn't use protection, and now she's pregnant. Hilarious, by the way. If you don't want to have kids, you'll have to wear a condom. Well, I don't want to have kids, but I'm not doing that. She's about 4 weeks. Caught it during routine blood work at the doctor's. She's optimistic about it. I am not. She's thinking ahead and planning about putting parts of her paycheck aside to prepare for the baby and has already started to eat healthier. I don't think I want this. She has 2 kids from a previous relationship that I like enough, but I don't think I can deal with a baby and toddler stage.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
Oh
She
my
keeps
God.
telling me that it'll all be okay, that everything happens for a reason and the universe had a plan for this, but I'm getting real tired of that hippie bullshit. I just wish I could turn back time and stop this whole thing from happening. How do I talk with her about this? She's already so happy and attached to this thing, but I just feel panic whenever I think about this thing being born. I need advice quickly. I think I can speak for all of us when I say, you gotta kill it. That's the only way out.
I just
Get the button out. Get the button out. Slam it. Oh my God.
can't believe this.
I can't believe how right Joseph is. I hate saying that Joseph is right. Like you all know this. I can't believe how immediately you clocked this guy. Oh my God.
He was like, I want to get back together, but I don't want to reevaluate any of my stances that caused us to break up. Guess what? Problem reared its ugly head again. And he's like, I'm dipping. I don't want to raise a kid. Also, like, he was like, I wanted to travel. I wanted to have fun. He was 20. Well, you're 40 now, bitch. So time's up.
Time's up, motherfucker.
Holy shit. Oh,
Dude, he
God.
just midlife crisis his way into like fucking this chick again and getting her pregnant.
That was crazy.
Awesome.
That's insane.
He literally midlife crisis his way back to like okay, what's criminal is that like it worked. He got back with her.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Like I just, that's not her fault. I'm not blaming her. I'm just baffled by this. Like, you just pretended to grow. You pretended that's what it was. You just pretended.
He grew older, but he didn't, change it all.
Oh, like
it's
the
great.
part
It's
where he's
lovely.
like, "Oh, I gotta wear the same cologne that I did when I was 20 to remember the good
was
old
the
days."
red flag for me. I was
My God, it's literally like, I used to be high school quarterback, and she was
in
head
the year
cheerleader.
2000, we entered the last great American epoch, and I will stay there as long as I can.
I just hate this, dude. He wouldn't have even deserved it if he did end up growing and changing. But it would have been a beautiful end to be like, I was a dickhead. I was I had a moment of emotional abuse where I was throwing shit and hitting the walls like every mentally unstable moron. And now I want to apologize.
It was the 2000s. Like, putting your fist through the drywall is what white men did.
That's hey, why get therapy? We have drywall.
We have drywall.
Yeah, like, he wouldn't have even deserved it after that, but like, it would have been at least nice to read. And she got pregnant, and in that moment, I realized I did want it. I can't believe I was afforded this second chance to have this family with the woman I actually did end up loving, and she would have been the one that got away. But nope, she's pregnant, and I didn't change at all, and I'm a fucking dickhead who deserves nothing, but I got it anyway. You bastard! You're a genuine knob.
This guy's rocks.
It's so
awesome.
good. Thank you for sending us this.
Thank you for this one. This one is
evil
amazing.
people.
Fuck you who sent this.
Oh, no,
I'm so pissed.
This is incredible. This
And I'm
post
checking the
rules.
username of the person who sent it to me. It seems to have come from Adolf Hitler.
Oh, wow. Nice of him to come back from the
Actually,
dead
the
to
OP
send us
as
this.
well.
Thanks. Fuck, man.
Ready to move
God.
on?
Yes,
I think
please.
so, yeah.
The Council has spoken.
Next up, 6 days old. Fresh.
Not even a week.
R/am I the asshole? The classic. Am I the asshole for not having my roommate's back on enforcing her boundaries? Okay.
No.
I
Already,
detect
the answer is
therapy speak.
no.
No.
I love hearing the
therapy
word
speak
boundaries.
detector.
Yeah. Yeah. It's my boundary to not do the dishes. All right, what do we think? Okay, here we go. I, 25F, live with 3 roommates. Leah, 25F, May, 25F, and Darcy, 23F. Oh, yeah. This is going to go well.
Oh, this is good.
This
This is actually shocking because usually when 4 20-year-old women live in the same house, they all get along really well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm shocked that there's a problem.
Leah Asimov and I have lived together for 3 years
Come
now,
on.
May for 1, and Darcy for only a few months. The issue started when Darcy got a new boyfriend who started coming over quite frequently. I have no issue with it, and neither does May. The boyfriend is very nice. Leah is the one who had an issue with it. Okay, it actually is Leah Asimov.
It is the Asimov.
Leah's room is right next to Darcy's. Her complaint so far has been, she's been woken up to the sounds of the bed squeaking a couple of times. Darcy hasn't told us when he's come over a couple of times, so he's walked in while Leah is in pajamas or doing Pilates. He left a drop of pee on the edge of the toilet.
Kill him.
And he left the window blind open when it's already closed. Mostly it's just about how often he's over. It's been a month of this BF being around, and Leah has come ranting to me on multiple occasions. She sat down with Darcy to discuss it, and Darcy was embarrassed by the noises thing, and I believe it hasn't happened since. However, Leah also told Darcy she can only have her BF over once a week. She said she has made it clear when Darcy moved in this was a quiet house where boys can't come and go. Not even overnight once a week, but anything longer than 15 minutes or a pickup. Since that talk, Darcy still has him over, albeit less, from 4 times a week to 2, but more often than Leah wants. I've kinda gone along with whatever Leah's saying because it's easier because we're friends, but I don't really care that much. I live on a different floor from them in our house. Frankly, I have no issues with any of it, except obviously the bed squeaking, which I am happy was addressed. I also have sympathy because the BF lives in dorms on an army base, so they have no option but to come to our place if they want to hang out without spending money. Here's where I may be the asshole. Darcy texted our group chat asking if she could have the BF over tonight. Leah was talking to me when we got the message. I told her it's up to her, but I'm not going to say no. She started ranting about the situation again, and I snapped and said, your boundaries might not be reasonable, and explained that a ton of people wouldn't care about him being over or some of the issues she's had with him. She was clearly not impressed with what I said. The conversation devolved from there into me telling her to do what she wanted, but it's up to her now. I'm not getting involved, and her replying to him, that's fine. I haven't had her back on this since the beginning, so it makes no difference now. So am I the asshole for what I said to her? Like, I can see where some frustration comes from, but I don't think we have any right to limit what someone is doing in a place they rent. Leah does have bad anxiety, so this might be a contributing factor. I'm just looking at what others think.
Man,
This one is, I'm in one of those situations where this one's not hard for me at all. I don't know how you guys feel.
Hit me.
Yeah.
Hit me.
Okay,
Yeah,
hit us.
okay. The poster, she's right. Darcy pays rent. She lives there. She pays rent. You can't just expect somebody who pays rent to, like, not have their partner over. Like, you pay rent to live there. Like, yes, you could be more accommodating. Like, yeah, I'm with my partner, and if my partner is doing things that's not great for the living space, we can, like, have an expectation for them to, like, not have pee on the seat and to not walk in on people, right? Like, you can have boundaries for the partner being there, but you can't just be like, no, no, your partner's not allowed. Like, come on, they pay rent. Like, I'm sorry. They gotta just, you can't just expect them to, like, not be there or control the amount of time that they're there. I'm sorry, that's whack to me.
I have another take.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, sure.
I'm kind of in the opposite camp on this. So Darcy is a paying tenant and can do what she wants.
Yes.
The boyfriend is not a paying tenant.
Yep.
And you know who is a paying
Okay.
tenant is Leah, right?
Sure.
So, like, I don't know if it is the case that this guy's over all the fucking time and is generally disruptive or frustrating to be around. That does kind of suck to be like, oh yeah, this total freeloader is just crashing here and making the space worse for everyone else over, you know, my own objections. It is kind of frustrating because I think the solution to this is probably the thing they tried to do where they were like, you can have the guy over X number of times a week.
Yeah.
But it's clear that the other person is just like, well, I'm going to do what I want anyway, so go to hell.
I mean, like, it's their partner, though. Like,
Well,
I guess it's...
Okay, we're not talking about someone they've been with for like 10 years.
Okay,
This
I
is
guess
someone
the
they just
time
started
does-
seeing.
Yeah, it's like,
It's a new
they did
boyfriend.
just start seeing them. Okay, because my thought was like, all right, what if it's like their husband, you know? Do you get to tell your roommate, like, your husband can't stay here?
Well,
like, that would be ridiculous. But I guess you're right, it is not their husband.
Well, the difference, even if that is the case, if it's your husband and you want them to live with you or be there with you, they should live there, right? Like, or you should figure out a situation where you try to have like rent with that person too, right?
Right.
Like if they're gonna
Right.
live there, that's the point. Because when you have a party come in many times a week, you're like, okay, you're here a lot, right? Like, and
Yeah.
they get to have the nicety of like, well, I don't actually live here, so I don't have to worry about the seat or groceries or, you know, like respecting
Sure,
spaces, right? Because it's just the boyfriend that comes over is very, you know, roommate problem. And that's my difference for, even if it's their partner, they don't live there. Usually, like, I think there's like a tolerance level, I think, that many roommates will have of like, hey, my partner's coming over this weekend. Is that okay? Can they sleep over? And they're like, yeah, of course, or whatever. Like most roommates will be whatever about it. But if it's more than that, then you do have to have the conversation of like, can you stop the squeaking of the sex and the pee and the Pilates and on the windows and then blah, blah.
Well, they have had that.
Right,
Like,
right.
okay,
That is
so-
true. They have had the conversation.
That's the thing that kind of fucks me up about this is like, I would be more inclined to say that Darcy is being an asshole here if there was just no like accommodating behavior between
But there wasn't.
Darcy and the boyfriend.
She was asked to limit it to once a week, and she was like, okay, how about twice a week then? Haha.
Well, no, hold on. Don't breeze past what I'm saying. I'm saying like clearly they are willing to address their concerns. Like the squeaking on the bed, that has stopped, right? Like they fixed that. And, you know, Darcy is apologetic about like the other complaints, and it seems like they've worked on those too. I can bend on the times a week. That I can understand. And also I think it is kind of crazy that he would just come over and nobody like knew that. That is a boundary that I think is quite reasonable. But she's asking before he comes over. Like Darcy texted her group chat asking if she could have her BF over tonight. Like there is more of a boundary being set here. You know what I mean? It seems very reasonable to I don't know. What sucks to me is like clearly they are working on this. They are talking through this as roommates, and there is a respecting of boundaries happening. You know, the squeaking in the bed has stopped. Darcy's now texting and asking before he comes over. right? So
Okay,
I
so
think-
let's
go ahead. Yeah,
let's zoom out a little bit.
sure.
The question isn't, is Darcy an asshole for bringing the kid over, or is Leah an asshole? The question
Fair.
is the person an asshole for pushing back after Leah went on a rant when she was like, I think your boundaries might be unreasonable.
That's a good point. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think her boundaries
You know,
are reasonable.
as shitty as this situation is, I actually think that's like a totally fine thing to say, to just
I
give your friend
agree.
kind of a reality check on this.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
Wait, are you saying that you agree that she's being unreasonable?
No, I agree that it's fine to tell her she's being unreasonable.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, shit. You want to vote on this one?
Wait. So you think that the
Yeah.
poster who said, hey, you know, I think the boundaries you've listed are unreasonable. And the person who posted is like, what the heck? You're like, that was like mean of you to say, and it's not true. And also blah, blah, blah. You think it's completely fine for them to be like, I don't know. I think it's completely fine to have the guy over. He's not a problem for me. You're being unreasonable.
Yeah, all the poster wants to know is, was she an asshole for saying your boundaries might not be reasonable?
Okay. I was just making sure.
I don't think it is. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, do we want to do any more sort of deliberation or do we think voting is okay now?
I'm fine to vote.
I'm fine to vote too. Danny, where you at?
Yeah, I guess so.
Decision time.
When it comes to this woman who snapped back at her roommate, Jordan, where do you think she ends up?
I think she is not the asshole. I think she's not the asshole for offering her perspective on this. And I know offering her perspective sounds like a very light way to describe what happened, because even the poster themselves say, I kind of snapped, right? Which I think that implies it was somewhat of a confrontational way of saying it. Even in that way, I think it is still fine for the poster to have asked that, because it is not just her that rules the apartment. You know, you can't let, or it is okay to push back against one person sort of being very persnickety about this guy coming over. Clearly, Darcy has been accommodating for various things. Like the first time it was brought up, the squeaking in the bed stopped, right? Which is a big deal. It sucked that was happening in the first place, but, you know, she's worked on it, and she's clearly been able to work on other concerns, as evidenced by the fact that she is now texting the group chat before the guy comes over. So I think offering, as you put it, Joseph, a reality check to Leah in this case, not a bad thing to do at all. I think it is completely acceptable as a roommate to do that. So not the asshole for me.
Danny?
I agree. You know, zooming out help. I don't have much to offer besides everything Jordan said. I absolutely agree. I think it's completely fine for you to be like, hey, I'm not gonna, I think this is unreasonable. Okay? Not the asshole.
Yeah. I agree as well. All right, 3-0.
Wow.
Dope.
I thought that was gonna be rough. I was like, whew.
The council has spoken.
All right, this last one also comes from Am I the Asshole? 4 days old.
Oh my God.
Fresh.
I smell it.
It says, am I the asshole for making my girlfriend pay me back for her own gas? No.
No, get your money back, King.
No. All right, here we go.
Now I got a question. Is this about like car gas, or is this about like
Stop.
farting?
All right, okay. I'm gonna read you the first 7 words of this one, and we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll come to a consensus. Okay.
Stop.
I, 28M, live with my GF, 46F.
Oh,
I love me an older woman who be farting, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Oh,
Let me do
cougar
some-
farts, baby. I get it.
Let's
All
do
right,
some math here.
Let me ruminate on this one.
Oh man,
You're
this is good.
ruminating. This guy's poominating.
Nice, dude. Are you all bangers?
This is so
Only
funny.
bangers today?
Holy shit. All right, ready?
Yeah.
She owns a car and uses it for work almost daily. I
Ah,
work 2
damn it.
jobs,
All right.
one from home and the other within walking distance. All in all, she accounts for 95% of the driving. My 5% is the occasional run to Costco for groceries or the rare road trip to see my family, during which time I pay for the gas. So when I do use the car, it's near empty. She doesn't fill the car on her way back from work because she's tired. Instead, she'll go to the gas station during the weekend. Let me do a little editorializing. So I've made a habit. If I do a quick errand during the week, I will fill it up for her in order to save her the trip.
Okay,
Sure.
I
cool.
would keep
Thank
the bill
you.
and add it to the others at the end of the month. However, this led to a big misunderstanding. Last month, I filled it twice, and when this led her half of the monthly bills to be higher, I explained that it was because of the gas. She got upset because she thought I was just paying for it. I told her, no, you're the one driving it full time. I just fill it up to save her the trip when I'm running an errand. So when it was clear we misunderstood each other, I apologized. I genuinely thought I had made it clear what I was doing, but I hadn't. Honest mistake. As far as I was concerned, that was it. Whether I save her the trip and she pays me at the end of the month or she goes to the gas station, it's the same amount of money. I apologized. We cleared it up. She paid me back for the gas. Fast forward to last weekend. I needed the car and she said it was near empty. So I asked her if she wanted to fill the car, knowing it would add to the bill, and she said no. She'd rather I give her $5 in cash, do my errands with the little gas that was left, and she would fill it up herself later, even though she has no other reason to go out. When I reiterated that's the same amount of money either way and I'm saving her a trip, she said she didn't care, that the misunderstanding earlier had left a bad taste in her mouth, and she would rather I don't spend any money on the car at all if it means she'll have to pay me back later. We got in a weird argument. As I was trying to explain, this makes no sense to me. She's spending the same amount, she just doesn't have to leave the house for it. But she got more annoyed with me and kept saying we were doing it her way and that was that. Whether she insists on filling it up herself is beside the point. I just feel like she's doing this because she doesn't trust me, even though I never meant to mislead her. Am I the asshole for making her pay for her own gas? Part of me thinks maybe I should have not made her pay for it since it wasn't initially clear, but for extra context, she earns 4 times what I make right now. We split the bills 50-50, but I'm barely covering my own half. I don't exactly have money to gift her gas these days, and she's well aware of it.
Oh.
I don't know
Y'all
about
know
you,
what
this
I
one's
think
really
about
easy
this
for
shit.
me.
Yeah, this is like really easy.
All right, somebody
All
else
right,
start.
yeah. This is,
Sure.
Yeah, leave? You gotta go? What are you talking about? This is the most insane argument I've ever heard. The reason that this woman is upset that you are buying gas and adding it to bills at the end of the month, you're like, does she not trust me? No. Obviously not.
Yeah.
She doesn't you're 28 to her 46. She's as old as your mom. She doesn't respect you. Come on.
Yeah, she's literally like almost 50 years old, dog. Like, look, it's cool. Like, hey, man, I'm not going to yuck your yums. If you want to be with an older person, that is okay. I have no qualms with that. But, like, bro.
I do.
Whatever. You can take what you want about. All I'm going to say is, like, this type of shit is so annoying. Like, this minutia of how much money is spent, like, piddle shitting about $5. Like, bro. Are you together or not?
Correct.
Like, fuck.
Thank
God,
you.
man.
There's all these like weird comments where people are like, here you are nagging her about $5. She's paying for insurance. You should pay for the gas. That's a 50-50 split. I don't think these people understand what's going on.
Yeah,
Like,
no, not at all.
it's not that she is asking him to pay for gas. She isn't. She is saying, I will pay for gas, but I want to be the one to fill it up because I think you're trying to cheat me.
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone is pretending like what the guy's asking is, should I have to pay for gas? He's not. What he's asking is, why does she want to personally go out and fill it up to achieve the same outcome to me going up and filling it out while I'm already out and then putting it on a receipt at the end of the month that we both pay? They're like, oh, you two are going back and forth on money. They are a couple.
Aren't you a couple?
This is a car they both use.
Well, they both use. They barely. Well, I guess he does.
But he
use it, not
barely
necessar-
uses it.
Yeah. It's like this is the weirdest control-y shit. Honestly, I won't bury the lead here. The Reddit paints this guy as the asshole. I'm trying to figure out how, because
Yeah, no, they're all like, I don't get it. Like, why do you need to use her car? You're putting wear and tear on it. You should be happy she lets you use it at all. When people get in a relationship, do they get hard over how much nickel and diming they're about to be able to do? They're going to be able to make a spreadsheet where they're like, you drove 15 miles, which the Blue Book says decreases the value by 0.00017%, which I hope to see reflected in your end of quarter reports. Like, what's going on here? Like, they're a couple. She drives it 95% of the time. He's hardly putting wear and tear on it. And she's asking, why can't, instead of the previous arrangement where I'm paying for gas after you fill it up, I go fill it up personally, taking an extra 5 minutes out of my day. Like, I just don't get it. I gotta agree with the guy. This is a weird fucking conversation.
So hold up. Isn't it just simpler than this? Isn't it just that she just thought it was weird that he was like doing this kind of like, I've kept receipts of everything, so you must pay me back for these types of things. And when she explains, I didn't like how that worked out. That was weird. And his response is well, it's the logic is the same here. If you give me the $5, there's no difference between the two things that we did. This doesn't matter what you're doing.
No, he's not asking for the $5. She is.
No, I know. He's saying that it doesn't matter either way, right? He's telling her, well, logically, that doesn't make sense for you giving me the $5 and then you do it. It's the same way. Even if I asked for the money back later, that's money you would have spent on the car. Yeah. Yes. Logically, you are correct, dude. But isn't it more so that she just was weirded out by it? Like, am I crazy? She obviously was fucking weird.
I just don't understand why she was weirded out by it.
Well, why wouldn't she be?
They paid for the bills at the end of the month. He included the gas in the bills, which it's clear they've done before. What she was frustrated by was that he'd done it twice in 1 month rather than the usual once in 1 month. And then she was like, you've lost your gassing privileges as a result.
Well, wasn't it like that he, at the end of like the month, didn't he have like a sort of track of everything they were doing with like the gas, right? Or did I read this wrong?
Let's take a step back and actually read this again, because now I'm starting to wonder. I'm actually confused how this fucking works. Like,
yeah,
all
just
of
like
okay, all right.
Yeah, maybe
so
I'm confused
when I
as
do
well.
use the car, it's often near empty. She doesn't fill the car on her way back from work because she's tired.
Sure.
So she'll go to the gas station during the weekend. I've made the habit, if I do a quick errand during the weekend, I'll fill it up to save for the trip. I'd keep the bill and add it to the others at the end of the month. Okay.
See, that's
so
what I'm talking about.
Happens is
that portion. This, like, I've kept receipts of every time I've done this, and then like at the end of the month, I'm like, here are the transactions you must pay me back for the car. I'm just like, I maybe
but they've done it like this the whole time that they've been together.
I'm just making sure that's what they're used to, right? Like, she's used to doing this, to like paying him back for it, right? It just feels like maybe, I don't know.
The confusion is that she thought he was covering the gas all the time, as evidenced by paragraph 4.
Right, exactly.
Gentlemen,
you
please
say,
refer to
that
paragraph 4.
She's used to this, that they always do this.
No. But okay, I think I see what's happened. She is not paying very much attention to the bills.
Exactly.
And just kind of signing off on it. And then 1 month he does this twice because that's how the driving math works out. And she goes, what the hell? I thought you were paying these. He's like, no, you've paid them every single month. She's like, well, I don't like that.
Maybe she thought.
Well, okay, and then wait and hold. And then her solution to this isn't, well, you need to start paying for the gas. It is instead, now I will pay for the gas by taking an additional trip, and you are no longer permitted to pay for the gas and include it with our end of month bills.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to write her a check here. Maybe it is just that she thought.
She doesn't like that. She doesn't like that.
Yeah, she wants cash, Danny.
Okay. I'm going to write her. I'm going to give her some cash here.
Yeah.
Maybe she thought he was doing something nice for her. And then at the end of the month was like, oh, he's just keeping track of all of these and wants the money back. Well, that makes sense, but it makes me a little sad that he wasn't just doing something nice for me. Right? Is that maybe I think that's a very normal thing.
Why respond by being like, you've lost your gassing privileges?
Well, because he's not doing it to like be nice. He's doing it just because like he's like, I don't know.
Yes, he's doing it for efficiency's sake because he's already out.
Sure.
The outcome here that she wants is still she pays for all the gas, just that she does it whenever she feels like it instead of him doing it whenever the car is running low.
Yeah, she would rather I don't spend any money on the car at all if it means she doesn't have to pay me back later. We got in a weird argument. I was trying to explain this makes no sense to me. She's still spending the same amount. She just doesn't have to go amount for it. But she got more annoyed with me and kept saying that we were doing it her way, and that is that.
Okay. Maybe it's just because I've seen this guy's replies, and I'm just like, I don't know if this is like, I don't know. this guy just sucks in my vibes. Okay, I don't even have good evidence. It's just vibes. This guy blows.
I mean, sure. I'm not looking at the replies, so I don't know.
I'm not trying to, but I was like, what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I am looking at the replies, and I guess I see what you're.
You know what I mean?
What you're talking about. He's being a little frustrating, but I don't think he's being really an asshole.
In his mind, he is trying to do math over the gas because he uses the car much less than she does, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he clearly makes so much less money that look, I'm sorry, I can't even go further on this train of thought. I have to say this. This is a weird level of financial control that she is like using over.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know, Danny,
sure.
you're getting squicked by this guy or whatever, but like, here is a woman 20 years older than her boyfriend being like, oh, you want to get gas twice? You've lost car privileges. Now you have to beg me to use it. I make 4 times as much as you.
Wait.
Okay, come on.
I thought it was just
you don't see an imbalance here.
I thought he can use the car. She's just saying,
there's no
don't do the fill up thing.
She keeps it deliberately empty. That's what he says throughout this thing. So to go out, he has to give her cash to get the necessary amount of gas to run errands.
That's a good point.
Well, okay, wait. Doesn't she fill it up on the weekends normally? She says that, right? He says that. He says she fills it up on the weekends.
Yes, she fills it up on the weekend, but he's running errands during the week.
Okay.
Well, I guess she does say she would rather I don't spend any money on the car if it means she'll have to pay me back. I guess that doesn't mean like he can't pay for the gas.
Also, weren't the errands an excuse to get the car filled? He says normally he's made a habit, if I do a quick errand during the weekend of filling it up for her to save her the trip, I'd keep the bill, right? Like he doesn't, he's doing it because he needs the car filled, right?
No, he's doing it because he's already out.
Yeah.
Well, right,
he's
but
already like...
Is it
in his mind? It's a nice thing that she won't have to go fill up the car.
Sure.
It's just like, well, I'm already out. I'm doing errands. I'll just go fill up the car for her.
Okay.
She'll pay for the gas still, but I will do the work of filling up the car since I'm already doing errands.
Okay. And then he keeps the receipt and it's just like, pay me back, I guess. I don't know.
But,
maybe to me is like odd. Maybe that part is the odd part. Like, I don't know. I would just fill up the car. Why would I ask for money back in my relationship? Maybe I'm just like, that's the strange part for my brain.
That is annoying the fuck out of me is like, these are the arguments that I can't stand because it is, like I mentioned before, a minutia level of bill checking that is so fucking annoying to me.
Yeah.
But the problem that, the reason that this minutia is happening from his end is because he makes an exorbitant amount less than she does. And he is like almost short on bills with what he's already paying. Like, part of me thinks is clear. Extra client, she earns nearly 4 times what I make. We split the bills 50-50, but I'm barely covering my own half. Like, that's also crazy.
Yeah,
okay.
That's crazy.
I have a take that maybe some people disagree with, but like, you need to be honest about what the two of you are making. If one partner is making 4 times the amount, they should be covering a little bit more for the expenses.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I agree.
Like, is that a crazy take?
No,
or like,
no, I think that's
okay. I
think you have to evaluate at each like point in both of your lives and be like, okay, like I'm making a ton, right? So like, how do we split this so it's, you feel like things are fair, etc.
Okay, I'm wrapping myself back around. Why is this 50-year-old woman who makes 4 times as much as her nearly 25-year-old boyfriend expecting him to cover bills 50-50?
Okay, this is a bit of a forward thing, but he does post that it was a very recent thing that she got promoted to have 4x her salary.
Okay, then talk about that.
I know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just saying. You're right. I don't know what to say. This is the strangest post you've brought us, Jordan. This one's insane.
Yeah, very, very weird one. I think I don't even really want to vote on it, to be honest. I think at best, to me, it sounds like a shit fit that just is so incomprehensible it shouldn't be happening. And at worst, it's like a buried lead about this guy getting financially abused by his grandma.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't want to read this. Do we want to vote, I guess?
I guess.
We have to.
Decision time.
when it comes to this guy, is he the asshole for making his GF payback for her own gas, Jordan?
I'm gonna say no. I know this is like okay. I can't get. I was just saying all this good shit about like the age difference, and I still do believe that, like, you know what, if you want a partner that's older than you, whatever, I'm not gonna yuck your yums. But there is some serious lack of discussion happening around the finances in a way that's productive. Like, the only conversation that they're having around finances is penny pinching, like, each droplet of gasoline.
Oh, my God.
And there's so much here that I can't even blame the guy for having that chat. Like, I'm sure somebody has picked up on some detail and has expertly psychologized about why this guy is actually being a dick for having all this magnifying glass on the finances, but I can't do it. I just can't do it. She makes like 4 times as much as him. Maybe she should do a nice thing for her proxy son that she fucks and buy him a car or whatever. I don't know. Like, whatever. I can't call him the asshole here.
Danny?
I don't know. I hate this guy, man. I hate this
Sure,
guy.
I guess.
I don't know what to say. You're right. You're right about everything you said, but I'm feeling like you right now, Jordan. And I hate him. I don't like this guy. I think that, you know what I'll say? Have some self-respect for yourself. You know, like, you're 28 with a person who is like almost 20 years older than you and is old enough to be your mom, and she's making you pay for the gas. You're the asshole because you're in this. Get out. That's what I'm gonna say.
This is literally just victim blaming.
That's just victim blaming,
I'm
but
kidding.
sure.
I'm kidding. I
no, I
No,
get it.
you're
though.
not.
I am.
I kind of do get it. I actually do kind of
No, I
get
get
what
it,
you're
I get it,
saying.
I
kidding.
get it.
I'm mostly kidding, but it is.
I'm like 40% kidding. It's fine.
No, I will say, I do think that I agree with everything kind of Jordan said. I think that it is weird behavior, and I think you should get out of this situation for this. I don't know if I can say you're an asshole if, like, of this, for making her like pay you back when money is so tight for you specifically and the situation, but you really do have to talk to her. Like, this is a conversation you should have. As we all know, all of these devolve into talk to your partner, but like, sit down and be like, okay, like, now that you make more money than me, like a lot more, I don't have enough to pay for gas. I hope that that's something you can do for me as your partner. You use the car mostly. Would you mind paying for gas, etc.? Like, whatever. And talking through that kind of stuff, you know, and or not. Like, and if that makes her uncomfortable, you find other ways, right? And be like, okay, how do we break this down? So I guess I'll say very slight, not the asshole, but I do hate him.
I think he's not the asshole. I think there's some evil forces here at work. To those of you who are like, I want an old woman, be careful. They have a lot of time to have plotted against you.
Yeah, that's what we're doing with. All right. Look, all I'm going to say is I got the Jordan solution. You figure out your finances, you do some fucking percentages, and you do the fucking joint bank account. God damn it, man. Like, if you really want to go through all of this math to be with her, just do the joint bank account, for fuck's sake.
Thank you.
Dude, a joint bank account is going to be her bank account. She's going to fucking steal all your money.
No, it's literally you figure out how much money you each need to invest for bills, and it's where the money for the bills goes.
That's not going to resolve the question, because the question is, does this count as a bill?
Never mind.
You can't solve everything with joint bank account, joint bank account, man.
This is unsalvageable. If you can't fix this with a joint bank account, it's unfixable.
The Council has spoken.
Oh my
Dude, God.
Okay, we're done. It's
We're
over.
done.
We're done. All right, goodbye.
All right, bye.